everyone. My name is Jennifer German. I'm a NASA JPL Solar System Ambassador, and we are here today for the second session of Train Like an Astronaut at Home. Today's session is exercise. I hope you got to watch the first session before this because you are going to need your mission journal. I watched the previous video and learned a couple things, so I'm going to try to show you stuff a lot closer now so you can see because it was getting washed out in the previous video. All right, you also need something to write with. I've got my colored pen. Again, you're going to need a tape measure just like before. So please run and get that or ask your adult to get that for you. You're also going to need either a stopwatch, a watch with a second hand, or an app that has a stopwatch on your mobile device. And lastly, water in a bottle, in a cup, whatever. Very important when you're exercising. All right, so I will give you a moment to gather those things. Just like before, I'm going to start talking the introduction. So you can bring your mobile device or laptop with you. You can send your adult to get these things, or you can just get up and not listen to the introduction. And be sure to come back. Okay. Oh, and if you are watching this as a video later and not live, you can, of course, pause the video and get whatever you need and then come back and play again. So, again, I'm going to try and speak to 3 levels simultaneously. Younger children, older children, teens and adults. There's actually going to be less variation in this session, but some. There's always options throughout. Make changes as you need for yourself. Oh, as I said before, this Mission X, I've adapted already from what was originally put out. Please feel free to adapt it to make it fit you also. So let's get started. Today is exercise. This is a video from 2013 that NASA made to kick off their Mission X, Train Like an Astronaut. Which is very good because the gyms are closed right now. So, thank you to Mike for that. Oops, there we go. So, Charlie, who we know as Astro Charlie, is becoming Touchdown Charlie today for this Mission X session. Our introduction is that astronaut training is actually a lot like training for any sports. There are a lot of them are very similar. Swimming, especially because of the weightlessness, but also running, bicycling, cycling, skiing, weightlifting, strength is important, American football, and soccer, which the rest of the world calls football. All of these have a lot of similarities to astronaut training. So, Touchdown Charlie, Charlie picked American football to use as his similarity for this session. And it doesn't seem like there would be a lot of the same things, but if we look, we can find out. But first, I just want to point out, why did Astro Charlie choose American football to pattern his exercise routine after? I don't honestly know, but I'm guessing that it might be because Mike Hopkins, who's just in the video we saw, was a college football player. That's him down there at the bottom of that pile. I also, if you'll indulge me, got my Cabbage Patch Kids out. There's my football player and his twin, Astronaut. They came as a set. I was really excited to be able to use them for this. It's a boy and a girl twins, but still. All set for our astronaut exercise training session today. So, one major commonality between sports and astronaut training is that the team. Team sports, astronauts need to be a team. It takes a team to win. It takes a team for a mission to be successful and safe. You need to learn how to work together. That's very important. Muscles and bones. So astronauts lose a lot of their muscle and some of their bone mass when they're in outer space for extended periods. That is why astronauts need to exercise for 2 hours every day. And it's not just aerobic exercising, it's also strength training to keep up their muscles. It's crucial to their health, just like football players practice with weights and practice with running drills. Same type of training is necessary. Also, recovery. After a game, athletes have tired muscles and sore bodies. They need to take care and let their bodies recover before they train or play again. Astronauts have a similar problem. When they come back to Earth, they come back with less muscles, as we said. They also come back with less balance. So, when astronauts first get back to Earth, one of the things that happens is they are given balance tests to see how well they're doing. And typically an astronaut's balance returns in about 2 or 3 weeks. But the balance exercises that football players use are actually very similar to the balance tests and retraining exercises that astronauts use. So, a quick recap before we actually start exercising here. Astronauts need strength, they need endurance, they need coordination, and they need balance. And that's what we're going to try and work on. First, we need to warm up. It's very important before you jump into an aerobic routine or heavy weight training that you warm up first. Just give your body a chance to get used to it and not be shocked or injured by accident. So some simple warm-ups that Mission X says is you can just move your arms back and forth in circles. Whoops! Try not to hit your own chandelier or lights. That's actually a very important point that I did. Use a space that doesn't have stuff around that you're going to hit. Okay, so you're supposed to warm up for about 2 minutes. So we can move our arms. We can move our legs just up and down. It's not quite marching. You're not really trying to exercise right now. You're just warming up. Take it easy when you're doing this. Another one that some of you kids might find fun, Mission X calls this the dead bug. Lay down on your back, put your legs and your arms in the air, and just wave them around like a bug that's about to die. And do your about 1 minute, and then and rest. There are lots of warm-up options, even simple walking. And just walk around is a nice warm-up. Just to get your body in motion, get it started. Okay, I actually did not have a timer running to know if we've done 2 minutes, but I'm supposed to do 2 minutes of warm-up. Now we move on. And we are going to do Touchdown Charlie's routine here. I've got it all listed out right here for you. There's a lot of steps here. I'm going to go through them, explain them as I go, and demonstrate. But I'm going to have my daughter call out the steps for me because that's a whole lot easier than trying to read it and do it at the same time. So if there's someone else at your home with you who can read these for you while you do them, that's ideal. But if there isn't, then you can try and put it in a place that you can see while you are exercising, or maybe write it down on a piece of paper and put it on the floor in your exercise space. Okay, so we are going to start this. I've got my same space as yesterday, so I know how far I've got to go, although the 40 meters doesn't matter as much today right now. And I'm going to start here. Whenever you're ready, Amber, tell me what to do.
Walk.
All right, so we start off by walking. That's our warm-up phase, right?
High step.
High stepping. This time it is like marching because we're trying to exercise.
Cornerback.
Cornerback. That means run backwards about 10 steps and then run forwards.
Lie down.
Lie down. I'm going to lie down right in front here so you can see me.
Balance.
That means get up, stand on one foot and balance.
Lie down.
I did it. Lie down.
Balance.
That means get up, stand up on the other foot and balance.
Lie down.
Lie down again.
Lineman.
Lineman. That means get up, and run in place, at least 10 times. Heel toe, just what it sounds like. You're gonna walk, put your heel to your toes of your other foot. This is for balance, as well as exercise.
Soyuz landing.
Soyuz landing is do 4 heel toes, 3, 4, then jump and land with good balance.
Sideline.
Sideline, 4 more heel toes, 2, 3, 4. Then stand with your toes together, your feet all the way together, and lean forward as far as you can, but don't fall. Again, this is for balance. All right? So that's the end of what we call 1 repetition. So Amber's going to read it off for me again, and I'm going to time it this time. All right? So get your stopwatch, and we're going to do this together. Let me get my stopwatch here. All right? And when she starts reading, I'm going to start the timer. We're going to see how long this takes me.
Walk.
All right, walk.
High step.
High step.
Cornerback.
Cornerback. Run backwards. About 10 steps and then run forwards.
Lie down.
Lie down.
Balance.
Balance. Let's get up. Stand and balance on 1 foot for a moment.
Lie down.
Lie down again.
Balance.
Balance. Get back up. Stand on the other foot for a moment.
Lie
There
down.
we go. Lie down again.
Lineman.
Running lineman. Right. Run in place at least 10 times. Okay.
Heel toe.
Heel toe. Heel toe. Walk in a straight line. Heel toe with balancing.
Soyuz landing.
Soyuz landing. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 heel toes. Jump and stand or stick the balance.
Sideline.
Sideline. 1, 2, 3, 4. Toes together. Lean forward and balance without falling. Don't go so far that you're going to fall. All right. Whoops. That took me 1 minute and 12 seconds. All right. So we are supposed to do this routine for 5 minutes. So 1 minute, no, we're going to record everything in our book. But if it takes me 1 minute and 12 seconds about to do this routine, I would have to do it 4 times, would be 4 minutes and 48 seconds. That's not quite enough. So I would have to do this 5 times in a row to make the 5 minutes. Now I'm not going to do that right now because I don't think you really want to watch me do this exercise routine for 5 minutes. But after we're done here, this is how you should be training like an astronaut. So now we need to record this in our mission journal. Here's a list of things I said last time that you may want to record in your journal. So right now we're going to start with the date. Always write the date down, new page. Okay, you can write the time down if you want. Name of experiment or exercise. So this is Astro or Touchdown Charlie's routine. And for you teens and adults, if you want to write down everything there, even older children, that's fine. Younger children and older children, if you just want to write down, I'm trying to make it go back. Come on. Nope. There we go. Touchdown Charlie's routine. You can do that. I'm actually going to write it out in my journal because I'm an adult and that's what's expected, to give all the details. So walk, high step, cornerback. And again, children, if you are writing this down and you have a hard time spelling, it's all right here. You can just copy it down. Lie down, balance. I'm going to write LD for lie down again as shorthand. Balance, LD for lie down. Lineman, heel toe, Soyuz landing, and sideline. Then I am going to write how long it took me to do all of this stuff. So it took me 1 minute and 12 seconds for one time. Then I'm going to write down how many I did. I only did 2. I'm supposed to do 5, so I will have to do better at that later. So this is what my mission journal looks like now for this exercise. How you doing, Amber? Okay. You can also, again, draw pictures, although in this case it might be harder to do that. Anything else you want to write down? So what do we do? Let's see, we also write down how we feel. How do I feel? I'm a little out of breath, but I actually feel pretty good. Out of breath, but good. Yeah, I feel like things are moving and I have more energy. So I'll write that down to be more specific for you older people. I have more energy now. Okay, it is time for water. It's very important. Hydration is very important for athletes, for people just exercising, and for astronauts. Astronauts especially, because they need to be careful not to overheat while they're wearing that big bulky spacesuit. It gets pretty hot in there, it can, from the release of body heat. And so they need to make sure they're drinking their water. Just like we need to make sure we're drinking our water while we're exercising. Good, Amber's drinking hers too. Okay, other Mission X recommended activities for exercise. I've listed a bunch out here. These all need equipment. Jump rope, you need a jump rope. Medicine balls if you're doing lifts with those. A stationary bicycle if you're riding inside. Free weights or a weight machine. A treadmill, a chin-up bar that might be hung up over your door. A rock wall, bar ladders. All of these things need equipment that you can usually find at a gym, some even on a playground in a school. Some people have them at home, but I don't. I'm assuming a lot of you don't. And the gyms are closed, and the schools are closed, and even the playgrounds are closed. So what can we do? Well, Mission X does have some other activities that we can do at home, and most of them use our own body weight to do muscle training, strength training, and such. Squats, push-ups, plank, climb stairs. Now, I don't have stairs in my home. However, there is a set of stairs right outside my home. So I could go outside and use those. Sit-ups and crunches, and a wall sit. And I'll demonstrate all of these in a minute. Then things that help with balance and coordination. It's called mission control. Somersaults are also really good for orientation and coordination, but make sure you have a mat if you're going to do that. Don't just do it on a bare hard floor. Okay, let me demonstrate a few of these. Squats. Now, let me preface, I am not a licensed physical trainer or any kind of trainer like that. So what my trainer taught me for squats is what I will try to tell you. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, okay? You don't want them too far or too close together. Just a tiny, she calls it a micro bend in your knee when you're standing up straight, all right? And when we bend our knees, your hands can either be at your sides or on your waist. It's up to you. When we bend our knees to do the squat, we want to keep our head and our neck and our spine all in one long line as we go down. So you're not actually just going to sit like you're sitting in a chair because that puts your balance behind you and you may fall. We're actually going to bend very slightly forward so that we don't fall as we bend our knees. Also, don't go too far. Don't go more than 90 degrees. I'm not sure I can even make it 90 degrees, but right about here. And lastly, your head. Don't be looking up, don't be looking down. You want to keep it in a long line. So stand up. I'll do it from the side just to show you. Feet shoulder width apart, teeny little bend, all right? Lined up, head, neck, and spine. And as I bend down, I keep that all in one line, but I'm leaning just a little bit forward so that I've got my balance still, all right? And come back up. So you do 10 of those in a row. It's repetitions for squats. So I just did 2. You can do them a little faster, but also don't go too fast because you can end up straining or hurting yourself. 3, that makes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, push-ups. Most people know what push-ups are, right? Get down, hands, feet. Try to keep your body again one long. You don't try not to be, doing your butt way up in the air, laying too far down. It gets a little too hard. Some people have a lot of problems with push-ups. I used to also. There are variations to push-ups that still work very well. And you can see me doing one right now. Knees down. So instead of trying to do a push-up on your feet, put your knees down. So much easier. And look, I can even get a whole lot further when my knees are down. Push-ups. Some people will also try to do push-ups on their elbows. Doesn't really work so hard because you can't bend your elbows. I think that's more of a yoga thing. Don't do that. I think I did it wrong. Speaking of yoga, plank. Now this is for strength. You're not moving, but your hands need to be under your shoulders. Get your toes tucked under. And you're just going to stay long like this, not doing a push-up. And you want to try and stay for 10 seconds. I don't know if you can tell, but my body's starting to shake a little bit from the effort of trying to maintain. That's where the strength training comes in. It's working our core. Amber just let herself go to the floor to rest. She's having a hard time. Sit-ups, ab crunches. People, of course, know about that too. The big thing about that usually is just trying to keep your feet on the floor. It can be pretty hard. So if there's another person, they can come hold your feet for you. You can put your hands behind your head. You can keep your hands out like this. However you want to do it. For crunches, you only go part way. For full sit-ups, you go all the way up and all the way back down. But when you're going down, don't fall. Don't let gravity do the work for you. You need to control yourself coming down. That's where part of the exercise comes in. Okay, wall sit. Now this one's interesting. It turns slightly so you can see me. It's sitting as if you're on a chair, but you're using the wall instead. So in this case, you do want to get your knees bent to 90 degrees. Your hands don't really matter in this one. And then try and stay here for up to a minute. I can't. 10 seconds is great if you can do it. 15, 20. Time yourself and see how long you can do it. Write it down in your journal. Okay. So those are all ways that we can exercise at home and train like an astronaut for strength. Now, mission control. Balancing on one foot, you need a ball for this. Any ball that bounces will do. It can be a playground ball, it can be a beach ball, it can be one of those little high bouncy balls. All right, so the way you do mission control, you need a wall again, is you stand on one foot and balance. Throw the ball and try to catch it. So this works on balance and coordination at the same time. And it's not as easy as I'm making look. Sorry, I actually practiced this to make sure I could do it. So just, throw it so it'll come back at you as best you can. And again, do 10 repetitions. So on one foot, throw the ball at the wall 10 times and catch it. Then switch to the other foot 10 times and catch it. And somersaults, which I'm not going to demo for you right now for various reasons of my own health. Remember, if you do any of this, write it down in your journal. So I did 10 squats. I did, 2 push-ups? And if I did a modified, I do want to write that down. So on my knees, or however I did it. I did the plank, probably for 5 seconds. I did not climb stairs. Sit-ups and crunches, I did 2 crunches and 1 sit-up. This isn't much of a exercise routine right now, but mostly I'm just showing you how to do this. do with it later. And then I did a wall sit for, what was that, 7 seconds? I'd have to go back and actually look at the recording. But this is why you have the stopwatch, whether it's the app or an actual watch, so that you can time yourself and write it down. Oh, and I did mission control. I did 2 bounces of the ball on my left foot and 3 on my right foot. So, oh, today's date. Right? So that's what my log looks like for this. All right. Other recommended activities. If you are allowed to go outside, and so for young kids, you need to ask permission. Older kids, I expect you need to ask also. Teens, probably not, but at least let someone know where you're going or what you're doing. An adult says before, you're an adult, make your own decision. Assuming that wherever you are, people are actually allowed outside right now. So walking, jogging, running, bicycling. All of these are very good to train like an astronaut if you do them for 15 to 30 minutes. If you're going to jog or run, please warm up first by walking. Also, if you cannot go outside, you can still walk around inside your own home. And it will be boring, but you can at least do that for 15 to 30 minutes, and that will definitely help also. This is important for astronauts because they need to be able to do what's called a walk back. If they are on the moon with a rover and the rover has driven out so far and breaks down, they need to be able to walk back to their base camp. Eventually, the same thing's going to be for when we get humans on Mars. So, NASA has said this means that astronauts need to be able to walk 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles in their full spacesuit gear all the way back. Be able to walk that far so that NASA knows they could get all the way back in case of a problem. So if you do any of these, walking around your home, walking, jogging, running, or bicycling outside, be sure to put it in your mission journal. Write down what you did and how long you did it. Okay, spacewalk. This is the same one as yesterday. We're going to be doing it every day. So let's get our spacewalk going. First, bear walk. This time, I'm going to time it. I didn't do that yesterday. I'm going to do it today. So I already have my, well, it's not 40 feet, it's supposed to be 40, but I have my 30 feet measured. Let's see, reset. Okay, I'm going to do my bear walk and I'm going to time it. Just so I know. And then I can compare day after day and see if I'm getting any better or any worse, which we hope not. Okay, that was just under 12 seconds. I'm going to write that in my journal. Date again. Bear walk. I did my 30 feet, write down how far. And it took me, see, that's why I'm writing it down now. How much was it? 12. Just about 12 seconds. Okay, crab walk. Now yesterday, I did not make it the full 30 feet. I'm not expecting to make it today either, but we'll see. Okay. All right, hands, feet, butt off the ground. Oops, hang on, almost forgot to start my timer. Put it down here this time. And go. All right, now walk. Get here, I'm gonna turn and keep walking. I just cracked my back. Oh, I'm doing better, but I can make it. I can make it, and woo, I did it. Okay. Well, that took me a lot longer than the bear walk did. 21 seconds. But I made it 30 feet today. Yay. All right. 21 seconds. And how am I feeling? I write that down too. I'm feeling winded, on my back. Well, it doesn't feel strained like yesterday, but it's not, I don't know, how would I explain it? My back feels tight. We'll call it that. My arms feel fine though. My legs feel fine. Overall, I guess I feel okay. All right. So there is my journal entry about that for today. And I can go back and compare it to the first one if I wanted to. Okay. So we recorded in our journal. Next up, let's just do a very little bit of science before we end and go here, because this is something I thought was really cool that I found in Mission X. Turns out astronauts are taller when they return from space than when they were here on Earth. NASA doctors found that on average, astronauts grow about 3% over the first 3 to 4 days of weightlessness. Now, some astronauts grow a little less, some grow a little more. This is an average that has worked out. This is important because engineers and designers who are building things for astronauts need to make sure that everything fits. The launch chairs get adjusted for an astronaut's height to keep them safe during all that G-force as they're getting launched out. The spacesuits for when they're going outside need to be the right size. What they're sleeping in, any number of things in outer space, they need to make sure will fit the astronauts. So knowing that astronauts are actually going to grow a bit after they're in space is important, so that engineers know how big to actually make things based on the astronaut who's going. So let me demonstrate a little bit here. We're a certain height, and we have our clothes that fit, right? And they feel nice. And you saw me exercising in these, right? Now notice, I've got my shirt here and I raise my arms, my shirt goes up. It moves with me, right? Yes, I hit it again. An astronaut spacesuit is continuous from the top to the bottom. It's all connected. So when an astronaut raises their arms or tries to extend their legs for any reason, the suit needs to have enough space to let them do that. If it doesn't, so I put my shirt back down, I'm going to hold it here so that my shirt can't move. And I try to raise my arm, I can't actually go any higher than this. That can be a big problem. Also, I noticed earlier when I was testing this, I can't actually bring my arm all the way forward either, or all the way backwards. That's as far as it goes. So if my suit fits me very well on Earth, and I can move my arms all the way and up and everything, but then I get into outer space and I get taller, I can't use my suit all the way anymore. And that's a problem. So that's why this is important to know. So we are going to figure out our own space height. This is where you're going to need that tape measure. And pick what units you're going to measure in, centimeters, meters, inches, feet, whatever you want. In our mission journal, we're going to write down, I'm going to use the same page this time, so I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to put the same date again. And I'm going to write down, this is Earth height, my Earth height, and my space height. Now, younger children or anyone who wants to, if you can't write, you can draw. Draw yourself on Earth and then draw yourself in outer space. Means the same thing. Okay? Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to measure ourselves. Now, it is a whole lot easier if there is a second person there who can actually measure you. Some of us may not have that opportunity, especially even if there's another person there, maybe you're too tall for that person to measure. So Amber, come here. Let me show you. So here, I could measure Amber, and we're going to, really well. All right? Step on that for me, please. And look straight forward so I can get the top of your head correctly. You look like you are 4 feet, 8.5 inches, which is actually, we need to do this in inches for our conversion. So it's 8 plus 8 is, so it's 56.5 inches. You write that down? Okay, come on back here once you've written that down. Come on. Now, Amber's going to try and measure me. That's really not going to work so well. She's not actually tall enough to get to my height. Oh, stand on your tippy toes. But look, she had to bend it. She can't really see where it is. That doesn't work very well. So even though there are 2 people here, I still can't get measured very well. Thank you for your help. For you tall people, and I'm assuming this is teens and adults, children, younger children, older children, do not draw on the walls. Got me? Okay. Teens, ask permission. Don't just go drawing on walls. Okay? Adults, assuming it's your home, you make your own decision. Now, a way to measure yourself is to use a pencil. Do not use a pen. Do not use a marker. Do not use anything permanent. Pencil, erases. Don't use colors either. And we're going to make a mark on the wall for our own height. And this is how we can measure ourselves. You go to the wall, stand up, put your feet all the way back, nice and straight, look forward. Take the pencil, put it on the top of your head flat. Slide it back to the wall and make just a gentle line. Don't draw anything deep or hard that's hard to erase off. Okay? Now I can measure my own height pretty easy. Just put this here. Come on now. You got it. There. Up we go. So this says I am 5 feet 8 3/4 inches. Well, I used to be 5'9". I told that nurse she was wrong, but apparently she's not. Okay, so my earth height, I need to do this in inches for the calculation. So 5 feet is 60 plus 8. So I am 58. That can't be right. Wait, yeah, okay. 3/4 inches. No. What did I do wrong? 68. Thank you. Yes, 68 3/4 inches. I can do math sometimes. Always check your math. Okay. Now, to figure out my space height and Amber's space height, we take our number, so mine is 68.75, and we divide by 100. 68.75 divided by 100 equals 0.6875. And then I need to multiply by 3. And you can absolutely use a calculator if you want. Amber, do you want a calculator? There's one on my phone. And you'll find out how tall you are. Hang on, let me get it. You're going to add that to your original height. So for me, that is 2.0625 inches. Here you go, Amber. So in outer space, after 3 or 4 days, I would be 2.06 inches taller than I am now. So if I add that to my 68.75, that means I would be 70.81 inches in outer space. And there you can see is what I wrote down in my calculations and everything. I would be 2 inches taller in outer space. That's really interesting. I'm pretty sure that would mean my clothes would have to be the next size up. 2 inches is not insignificant. All right, so kids, younger kids, have an adult help you figure out your space height if you want. Older kids, this is good math practice for you. Try and do it. Teens, also, adults, it's a good math reminder. Thank you all for joining us today for session 2 of Train Like an Astronaut at Home. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will join us tomorrow for nutrition. Have a great day.